Hey guys, Legendary Grimlock here, and welcome back to another remake. We have the Monster Hunter versus Insomniac Spider-Man. Now, with Spider-Man 2 and everything being out and now being Game of the Year, I feel like it's time we actually redid this and did it properly. So, Pete will be having his, obviously, the anti-venom suit, and we'll get full scaling here. Now, we don't really know if the comics of, the crossover stuff like Spider-Geddon, where he has the velocity suit and being able to fight Superior Spider-Man are canon, so we won't be really counting those. Now, for the Monster Hunter, we'll be giving him the Acantor armor, as it's one of the well-known armors. The Monster Hunter can actually use the abilities of other monsters. And he will also be having a sword and shield. Sorry, not a sword and shield, a long sword. Apologies. So, with that being said here, we're going to answer the questions: how strong are each one individually? How powerful are they? And who wins in an all-out battle? So, without further ado, I think it is fair we start with the Monster Hunter, as I've scaled him plenty times on my channel, even giving him an updated scaling video where he scales to well, I think in the most recent video I did, I scaled him to star level from inverse. But actually, he scales much higher. But, yeah, let's start with the lower ends here. The Monster Hunter at his lowest end is around multi-continental, or you could at least say planetary, especially if we go with the higher end scaling for his verse. This comes from not only characters like the Huntsman and Fiorne, who he would scale above. These characters are very experienced veteran warriors of their respective guilds here, in both Rise and World, by the way. And the Huntsman is known to actually stand on business and fight elder dragons on a regular basis. He's probably even killed some in his past as well, considering he is the most experienced hunter and is one of the guild's greatest warriors, until, well, you actually prove that, well, you're far better than he is. So, yeah, I think that's kind of concrete, right? So the Monster Hunter already scales above people and creatures that are at least country level in power, and at least continent level at a, I guess you could say, as like a low end, or at least their highest end, right? Most elder dragons can be scaled to planetary, but I'll get into that in a little bit. Now, Fiorne has a very incredible feat, something I'd never even realized myself until actually completing Sunbreak. And that was, well, she straight up just decks Geismagorn with absolutely no problem here. And that's just, it's ridiculous here, because Geismagorn can be scaled to country, if not continental levels. You even have characters like Nergigante who are in the planetary department. The reason why I would actually say that is because he scales above monsters like Sherry Ishvalda and Amatsu. Now, Sherry Ishvalda is an elder dragon that can actually shake the entirety of the New World, which is a myriad of continents put together, making Sherry Ishvalda multi-continental. And excuse me, and Amatsu was able to create a storm that was actually threatening the entire Kimura region, which is again another myriad of continents put together. So clearly the hunter easily demonstrates that it's kind of casual for him to defeat these monsters as well. And with the sheer fact that he is one of the most skilled warriors, being able to know every weapon from the guild, it puts him at a much higher level, easily planetary plus, if not star level, right? Now, you could also argue solar system, as Shao Dalmador has created a river of stars with his fire breath, which by our account is around 4,000 stars, meaning Dalmador should be around the multi-solar system, or if not, you could actually say like it's, solar system plus or low galaxy level department. Now, the reason why we chose Acantor here is because of its black flame ability. You see, the Monster Hunter has an ability that allows them to channel the souls or connect to the souls of the monsters they slain, and allows them to use their abilities. There have been reports of hunters being able to use Eschaton Judgment from Elatrion, Kirin's Lightning, the electricity of a Zinogre, the fire breath, or sorry, not the fire breath, the dragon breath of something like Devil Joe, the poison of Espinas, and the list just honestly keeps on going. Even being able to use the strength of the monsters as well. So the hunter being able to use these powers and abilities, and again, these are just from like one monster each, it again shows how powerful the hunter is here. However, just with a Cantor, he's able to use a Cantor's black searing flames. These flames are actually so hot and so powerful that they actually can scorch a person's or another being's soul, meaning that a Cantor's flame actually attacks on the astral level. And the Monster Hunter can actually channel these abilities through his weapons, his or her weapons here, being able to use it from, a black flaming sword to a gun lance that can fire off these black flames with devastating force behind them. Now, as for speed, the Monster Hunter will easily scale to like faster than light, which is pretty simple for the verse. This comes from characters like Titi Yaku, who are able to, blast a flash of light. And then you have Elder Dragon level monsters or close to Elder level monsters like Odogaron, who is not only blind but can actually react to the light somehow, maybe because of his synapses in his brain and how fast it moves here. But again, Odogaron is able to react to the flash of light and move his head out of the way instinctually. So this means that Odogaron should have, FTL metas. If not, you can actually say the hunter is at least faster than lightning, so at least massively hypersonic, or at least 1/3 the speed of light, or at least 2/3 because he's faster than it. So again, the hunter could easily be close to light speed. But let's go over Insomniac Spider-Man. Now, believe it or not, this is one of the most powerful Spider-Man, out there. So before we really get into talking to power levels, let's really talk about the the weapons that he has. This version of Peter Parker has actually a very decent set of weaponry here. He has regular web shooters. He has his concussive webs. He actually has a gravity suspension web, which I always found interesting in the Spider-Man game. It actually became one of my favorite combos with the gravity sling and what's called the electricity combo. He has spider drones. He's got a modified version of his web shooters, which are impact webs, which automatically web the person up. He has an electric version of his webs, which are pretty much an AoE attack, where he can pretty much just, use them to electrify his opponents. He even has like trip mines. He has web bombs and stuff like that. He's a full package. He's got it all right? He's got everything. And these weapons are strong enough to hold up, things like helicopters, cranes that are the size of buildings, and even restraining Sinister Six members who would actually scale to him, like Scorpion, and on most occasions, Rhino. So, yeah, that would be Spider-Man's webbing here. Now, in terms of his scaling, he should scale above Miles Morales with the white suit here, or at least the anti-venom suit, with Miles actually being able to absorb enough energy energy from a bomb that was going to destroy half of Harlem, which is a city block level feat, which is absolutely, which is ridiculous here. And Pete with the anti-venom suit would scale above this because the black suit was able to contend with Miles Morales, and Miles was actually holding his own here, but yet the white suit is just absolutely above it in its entirety. You could say that because it's symbiote kryptonite. By the way, these videos all belong to their respective owners. I own nothing, as I do not have the Spider-Man 2 game just yet, so I own nothing of these videos here. So with that being said here, Insomniac Spider-Man, would scale above Miles Morales and even other characters that would scale to him, like Mr. Negative, who was a main contributor of the suit here. Now, Spider-Man does have some level of skill here, as he is able to fight against trained martial arts like Silver Sable, Taskmaster, and is actually able to hold his own quite well against them. Even characters like Mr. Negative, who is a very powerful, pretty much a very powerful character and a very skilled character. Actually a skilled swordsman and skilled in martial arts as well. Pete also has his Spidey sense, which will actually give him a precognition, but this goes further with the anti-venom suit, giving him tendrils and giving him I guess you could say, a symbiote sense in a way. So he has him pretty much like a precognition and a danger awareness here. So with that being said here, combining all those traits with, Spider-Man and just how dangerous he is, the sheer fact that he is holding back constantly on his enemies as well, with even characters like Craven even saying that some of his Sinister Six members suck. It actually goes to show you how powerful the anti-venom suit Spider-Man actually is. So without further ado, let's begin here. Who wins this matchup more often than not? And in all honesty, Pete is good. He's powerful. He's a pretty good, he's a credible character. But again, city block level against someone who at their lowest is multi-continental and at their highest can be complex multiversal, and at their more in-between stage, if you will, could be planetary. It's just, it doesn't look good for Pete here. Pete's best advantage is is basically his agility. And even then, I don't really think that is just pretty much bona fide to give him the win. Pete also has a lot more weapons than the Monster Hunter as well, and is a lot more intelligent when it comes to scientific measures. However, Pete is lacking in that physical department and in the battle IQ department. The Hunter is faster, stronger, and a lot more lethal. Excuse me. So the thing about this is Pete can't risk a up close and personal fight with the Monster Hunter, because that's what the Monster Hunter does specialize in. And like I said earlier, there are monsters that are not only faster, but more agile than Pete here. And I actually think this is pretty important for a video, or at least a battle like this here. Characters like Tobi Kadachi's, or again Nagakuja, and even some Blangoga and Ketchawacha to a degree here, are all agile and much faster, if not just as fast as Pete himself. And to think about it as well here, it just doesn't look too good for Pete across the board here. I actually see the best way to scale him is to probably find some way to prove that, number one, these comics are canon, and scale him to the high ends of Superior Spider-Man, who has things like being able to harm Namor and draw blood. And then you could probably, wank his anti-venom symbiote to be on the same level, where Superior Venom was able to straight up box and absolutely like clown Thor here, even drawing blood from him. Now you could say Thor was holding back, and I'll be like, yeah, okay, that's fine. That's fine. We can agree with that. But again, here the Monster Hunter is just way more stacked than Spider-Man. And just the sheer fact that the Hunter can also use Acanthra's Black Flames. Again, even if I gave him another hack, there's like electrical attacks that are just way beyond what Spider-Man or the anti-venom suit could actually tank. This thing is at bare minimum, or at least its highest end, city block level plus, with Venom still being a city level character. I mean, there's no ifs and buts about it. That's just how it is here. But anyway, the monster undertakes this with mid to low difficulty. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and share with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope you guys have a blessed day.